Hi, I'm Brian Irons, Technical Editor of 4W Drive Magazine. I'm here with Perry Mack in the shop again today, and we're going over our Magnum 5.9 build, which the video was released, like over a year ago almost, I think. It's coming up on a long time ago. And we've had some issues. Namely, the vid came in, COVID. Wanted to show you what we found after taking the motor completely apart and going through it, and how that steered our decisions as to where this Magnum motor is going to end up. Sound like a plan to you, Perry?
That is the plan. So, first we're going to look at the head.
Yep, this is the cylinder head that we pulled off. To tell you honestly, I can't remember if this is right or left. What we ended up doing is just taking apart. We didn't even bother, we didn't even have to take it down to a machine shop to get them to look at it. 3 out of 4 cylinders on this cylinder head are actually cracked right in between the intake and the exhaust valve, here, here, and here. And that was easily discovered just with a wire brush. That means our cylinder head is toast. We got to get another set of cylinder heads. These Magnum cast iron heads, the factory ones, are known for cracking. They have a crack problem. There's a Rutland joke in here somewhere.
I thought it was more of a Vancouver East Side. But regardless, we don't want to get the same problem again by replacing it with an OEM head.
Exactly. So we're looking into the aftermarket. There was a company making some beautiful aftermarket cylinder heads in cast iron at a fair price. They have since no longer been creating them in a North American foundry. We sort of really want to stick to something that is going to last and that we can rely on and that we can build off of. So after making a few phone calls and scratching our heads for a while, we ended up going with a set of TrickFlow CNC ported 190 cylinder heads. Just a minute, I'll go grab one.
Yes, Vanna, if you could step off stage.
Here, we will.
Ooh, it's an unboxing.
It's an unboxing. It is, Perry. Let's go get a knife. All right, no point waiting. Crack her open there, Perry. So TrickFlow spent a number of years working on this cylinder head to be released. They've been released for a couple of years now with nothing but rave reviews. As the part number entails, CNC, stickers. These are CNC ported heads, which means that they have been
Man, it's like Santa coming out the chimney.
I know. Ooh, stickers. Those add power.
I just love that part.
You're scaring me. Oh, yeah. All right. These are designed to work with the Magnum motors and the old Mopar LA motors. There's one major difference in between those two engine blocks, and that's the oiling system. In the old LA motors, they were initially oiled up through a galley in the block into the cylinder heads. They ended up being oiled up into, these had a shaft rocker system. They were oiled into the shaft rockers, which then oiled all our valve train. In the Magnum motors, we had a more modern oiling system where the oil was pushed through the lifters, up through the push rods, and came out the top of the rocker arms into the cylinder head. So when you are changing over from a LA to a Magnum, you have to know the differences and you have to know what parts are needed to get this to work properly with your engine. If not, you are going to block off oil somewhere or have way too much flowing and not have any oil pressure. So our TrickFlow 190 CNC cylinder heads gets its name 190. 190 is cc's, cubic centimeters. And a lot of people think that a part number, or the most important number on a cylinder head, is the volume of the chamber itself. Now, the 190 actually stands for how many cc's the intake manifold, the intake runners, how many cc's of fluid they can hold. TrickFlow does this on most of their engines and most of their engine parts because they, on many platforms, offer different cc volumes of intake runner depending on the engine. These, the Magnum and LA style Mopar cylinder heads only come in the 190, and that is a very broad range and a very good middle ground for your average guy who's going to have something that's driven on the street and taken to the track once in a while, or in our case, taken into the deepest snow and flogged like a rented mule. You can see inside the chambers, we have a modern age heart-shaped combustion chamber. In here, all CNC machined. So these are not rough cast. These are very smooth inside here. The large stainless steel valves that we have here. And you can order your cylinder heads in 4 different varieties depending on what spring rate you are running. This is another reason to call up TrickFlow and ask them what cylinder head they recommend depending on what type of camshaft you are running. Are you running a hydraulic roller? Are you running a flat tappet hydraulic? Are you running a solid roller? And they have options for all of those. You can call them up and ask them, and they will help you out with all the parts necessary. And we have those right over here. All right, we're back here looking at our 2 cylinder heads, our old factory Magnum head and our TrickFlow cylinder heads here. Now, like I said, the TrickFlow was originally designed for the LA style engine. And one of the other differences, other than oiling, and it's kind of minor, kind of major, is our intake manifold bolts. What's different about those, Perry?
They're not the same.
He studied for that. No, they're not. Not only are they different size, but they're also at a different angle. We're currently flat on our cylinder tops, and you can see the angle of the bolt is different, and we're a different size. There's a couple of ways that we can solve this. We can either go with a aftermarket intake manifold, which is drilled for both the LA style bolt pattern or the Magnum style bolt pattern. We can swap out to a fully LA style intake manifold and try and figure out our fuel injection system and everything else we want to do. But this goes against what our initial premise for the engine was, which was to make it look as stock as we possibly can and as simple as we possibly can. So we decided in order to do that, we're going to go about it the difficult way. What we're going to do is we need to drill and tap new holes into this fancy new cylinder head. What we ended up doing to be able to create the same angle is something you can do at home with a welder and a couple pieces of scrap iron. It's actually not that difficult. And we actually made a jig to do it. This is all made with an angle grinder, some steel, and a lot of spare time. So what this essentially does, and you can actually get any machine shop around your local area to re-drill these, is we bolt this to our cylinder head, and we use these as guides to actually drill them out. This is a size F, I believe, drill bit, and it's accompanying 5/16 coarse thread, which is what the factory Magnum intake manifold bolt uses. We end up drilling right through there once we have everything bolted down, and it aligns up and drills our cylinder head exactly where we need it. We then come back with the right size tap, our 5/16 coarse thread, and ta-da, we have a cylinder head that now works for both the LA and the Magnum blocks for both the oiling system and the intake system. Perfect. Now we just need the rest of the engine.
And there's no damage to the integrity of the cylinder head when you do this. I know it sounds weird, you're drilling extra holes into it, but it's not going to affect the longevity of the cylinder head. It'll be not in the least. It'll be fine.
The amount of torque that these bolts take to actually tighten down is very, very minimal. You do not need a whole lot of torque to get that intake manifold to seat down onto this engine. So this is not a problem whatsoever. And we've been asking TrickFlow, hey, when are you going to make these cylinder heads with both bolt patterns in them? Because us Magnum guys would really like it so that we don't have to go through all this.
But if you're going to do the same sort of thing, and we still have this jig, give us a call and Brian will ship it to you.
Now, the best way to get some of your deadbeat buddies to show up from the middle of nowhere is if you show them hillbilly jewelry. Now, these are rocker arms that we ended up getting from Comcams. We ordered these before we actually ordered our cylinder heads because we saw a sale on Summit Racing. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to use them because these rocker arms are for individually mounted, not shaft rockers. These are for pedestal mount. But you can see that if you're not going with a trick flow cylinder head like we are, you have no problems whatsoever getting almost the same performance from a quality rocker arm. The factory tin ones are flimsy, especially when you start to raise RPM levels and start to really raise lift on your camshaft. Speaking of camshafts, we went to comp for just about everything relating to that. We talked to Tommy Ogden of Comp Cams, who really helped us out. He's a Magnum guy himself, and he drives a Dakota to the office every day, and he really was a joy to work with, getting everything aligned so that we knew that we were in good hands and that we weren't going to have valve train failures or issues down the road, including a double roller timing set, a made in the USA one. This is a double roller timing chain set, which makes it quite a bit stronger than the factory link style timing sets. The other advantage to this one is that we have adjustments down here so that we can advance or retard the cam timing as we see fit to adjust where the power is made in our engine. We also picked up a push rod checker set. These are temporary push rods that once we get the motor together, we'll be able to adjust these to figure out what the perfect length of push rod for us will be, and then we will, from that point, order a set of push rods, custom push rods for our setup. Between the different cylinder heads, different machining, and everything else, we didn't want to go with a set of over-the-counter push rods. We wanted to spend our money where it mattered and make sure that those were going to fit properly. And going through all this is going to be a little bit more tricky because we're going to use the factory computer. Yay! So this is a factory Magnum computer. This is out of a 3/4 ton 2001 Dodge. And we are going to go to Utah Some Performance and talk with Marty down there about getting us all reprogrammed and set up. We went to him initially asking him what we should look at for camshafts and what we could deal with timing and cylinder pressures and what we could get the factory system to deal with. And everything we have here is going to deal with that beautifully, including we picked up a set of 24-pound injectors from Excel to be able to feed this. And we're actually going to use a factory intake manifold that Marty from Utah Some Performance has gone and hand ported and modified himself. So we're really excited to get that back, along with one of his special 3D printed throttle bodies. So that's going to be really cool. We can't wait for that to arrive. But when it came down to the camshaft itself, and I can't remember all the cam specs, but luckily Comp sends you a card. If you're going to go and you're going this custom of a route, do yourself a favor, call up Comp and talk to their tech guys. They really do know what they're doing, and they can guide you to exactly what you need for a camshaft. And even if it's not an off-the-shelf one, ours is a custom grind. It's only a couple bucks more to go with a custom grind from Comp than it is to get one of their off-the-shelf ones. Comp's custom grind hydraulic roller camshaft. This is art as far as I'm concerned. Picking out a camshaft isn't just about picking up separations and lift. It's actually about the profile of the cam itself, what this ramp actually looks like to your lifters. And that makes a huge difference as to how your engine performs. And luckily for us, Comp has been on the leading edge of getting good workable profiles for computer controlled vehicles, which is why we're not second guessing anything that they've sent us. We picked up a hydraulic roller. It has our gross valve lift on the intake is 0.572 of an inch, on the exhaust is 0.576. Lots of lift, but our trick flow cylinder heads can handle that. Duration at 50 thousandths is 220 degrees on the intake, 226 on the exhaust. That is a lot of time to keep the valves open. And we have a lobe separation of 114 degrees, which is going to make it very happy for the computer system so that we're not getting a lot of raw fuel coming out, hitting the O2 sensors and causing it headaches there trying to figure out what's going on. So in conclusion, I'm still bitter, angry, and a foot shorter than where I'd like to be.
That's the update on our That's the update. Shut up. That's the update on our 5.9 liter Magnum engine rebuild. We're still waiting for some parts, and we sincerely apologize, and no one feels worse about not getting this done because we love to get things done. If you enjoyed this video, share it. Smash that like button, and if you want to subscribe, I don't know. I'm done. It's not going to come out. We're going to run with the first one.